lecture number 4. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we will continue our next lecture about advanced inorganic material chemistry. We will study about nitrides today. Nitride. A nitride is a compound of nitrogen where nitrogen has a formal oxidation state of -3. It means that nitride is a compound of nitrogen and another element. The valency of nitrogen in a nitride is -3. It has an ionic radius of approximately 140 picometer. Nitride ion has the radius of about 140 picometer or 1.4 angstrom. Nitride contains nitride ion. It means that it contains N-3. Nitrides are a large class of compounds with a wide range of properties and applications. We will see that there are many types of nitrides and there are a very large number of applications in daily life of nitrides. Types of nitrides. Nitrides are classified into 3 classes. First one, ionic nitrides. Second, covalent nitrides. Third is the interstitial nitrides. First of all, we will study the ionic nitrides. Lithium is the only alkali metal which is able to form nitride. However, all the alkaline earth metals can form nitrides with the general formula M3N2. Examples include beryllium nitride, magnesium nitride, calcium nitride and strontium nitride. Among group 13 elements, aluminium ion forms the aluminium nitride. We see that in the ionic nitrides there is a ionic bond between the positive ion and nitride -3 in ion. Among the alkali metals, only lithium forms the lithium nitride having the formula Li3n, while all the alkaline earth metals form nitrides having the general formula M3N2. For example, beryllium nitride, magnesium nitride, calcium nitride, strontium nitride. Among the boron family or group 13 elements, only aluminium +3 forms the aluminium nitride. Now we study the preparation of ionic nitrides. There are 3 methods to prepare ionic nitrides. First is by direct reaction of elements at elevated temperature. For example, synthesis of calcium nitride. In the first method, there is direct reaction of element and nitrogen at very high temperature. For example, in the synthesis of calcium nitride, both calcium and nitrogen are heated above 500 degrees centigrade and we get the calcium nitride. Second method is by loss of ammonia by thermal decomposition of a metal amide, for example barium amide. When we heat a metal amide, metal nitride is formed with the elimination of ammonia gas. For example, if we heat barium amide at a very high temperature, we get barium nitride plus ammonia. Similarly, third method is by reduction of an oxide or metal halide in the presence of nitrogen gas. For example, aluminum nitride, if we heat a metal oxide or a metal halide in presence of nitrogen and carbon atom, carbon which acts as a reducing agent, we get metal nitride plus carbon monoxide. For example, aluminum oxide or alumina reacts with nitrogen in the presence of carbon at very high temperature above 600 degrees centigrade to form aluminum nitride and carbon monoxide. The ionic nitrides undergo hydrolysis to produce ammonia and metal hydroxide. These ionic nitrides are easily hydrolyzed with water to produce ammonia and metal hydroxides. Now we will study the covalent nitrides, those nitrides in which there is a covalent bond between the carbon, between the nitrogen and the other element. Covalent binary nitrides possess a wide range of properties depending on the element to which nitrogen is bonded. The covalent nitride consists of only two elements, nitrogen and the other element. They have a very wide range of properties depending upon the nature of the other element to which nitrogen is attached. Some example of covalent nitrides are boron nitrides, cyanogen, phosphorus nitride, tetrasulfur nitride and disulfur dinitride. These are the examples of covalent nitrides. The first one covalent nitride is boron nitride. First of all, we study its chemistry. The preparation of boron nitrides can be done by three methods. Number one, by reaction of boron oxide with ammonia at 900 degree temperature. As a result, boron nitride and water is produced. Reaction number one. Second, by treatment of boron oxide with urea at above 1000 degrees centigrade, we get boron nitride, carbon dioxide and water. The third one is boron chloride is treated with ammonia at 750 degree temperature. We get boron nitride which has hexagonal geometry and HCl. We will study that boron nitride has two structural forms. Number one is the hexagonal structural form and second is the cubic structural form. In the first two reactions, cubic boron nitride is produced, while in the third reaction, hexagonal boron nitride is produced. Boron nitride is a thermally and chemically resistant refractory compound. It is a very high temperature stable compound. That is why it is called a refractory compound. Boron nitride is said to be isoelectronic with elemental carbon. It means that boron nitride is isoelectronic with elemental carbon atom. As we see that the atomic number of boron is 5 and atomic number of nitrogen is 7. When they combine, the total electron are equal to 12. Similarly, when the atomic number of carbon is 6, when two carbon atoms combine, the total electrons are 12. Therefore, we can say that both boron nitride and carbon-carbon atoms, when combined in the elemental form, they are isoelectronic. Due to this isoelectronic behavior, boron nitride exists in the two structural forms which are analogous to two allotropic forms of carbon such as graphite and diamond. As we see in the chemical reaction above, that boron nitride has two structural forms. First one is the cubic form, second one is the hexagonal form. Similarly, carbon has two allotropic forms. One is graphite, in which the carbon atoms have cubic structure, while the second allotropic form of carbon is diamond, in which the carbon atoms have hexagonal structure. The hexagonal form is similar to graphite. It means that the hexagonal form of boron nitride is exactly similar to graphite. The properties of hexagonal boron nitride are in general different from those of graphite. If we compare the physical properties of both hexagonal structures of boron nitride and graphite, they are different. However, both are slippery solid. It means that they have soft, slippery surface. Boron nitride is colorless and is a good insulator, while graphite is black and is an electrical conductor. and boron nitride is more stable chemically than graphite. So these are the properties which are different from each other. Although they both have hexagonal structure, but their physical properties are different, except that they have soft slippery surface. Hexagonal boron nitride reacts with only elemental fluorine, forming the products BF3 and nitrogen, and hydrogen fluoride producing ammonium borotetrafluoride. It means that the hexagonal form of nitride reacts with fluorine to produce boron trifluoride and reacts with HF to produce ammonium tetrafluoroborate. The cubic form of boron nitride can be prepared by heating hexagonal boron nitride to 1800 degrees centigrade under very high pressure, about 85,000 atmosphere, in the presence of an alkali or alkaline earth metal catalyst. If we want to convert the hexagonal form of boron nitride to cubic form of boron nitride, we have to heat hexagonal boron nitride around 1800 degrees centigrade at a very high pressure, that is 85,000 atmospheric pressure, and alkaline earth metal or alkali metal is used as a catalyst in this reaction. Like the analogous diamond form of carbon, cubic boron nitride is extremely hard. If we compare the hardness of diamond and cubic boron nitride, because both have same cubic structure, boron nitride is extremely hard as compared to diamond. Next is cyanogen, Cn twice. We know that cyanogen is a pseudo halogen. It is not a halogen, but its behavior is like halogens. Therefore, it is also called the pseudo halogens. Cyanogen is a toxic colorless gas that boils at -21 degrees centigrade. It can be prepared by oxidation of hydrogen cyanide. A variety of oxidizing agents can be used, including oxygen, chlorine, nitrogen peroxide. When nitrogen peroxide is used, the product of NO can be recycled and used again to produce the reactant NO2. We can use many oxidizing agents to convert HCN to cyanogen, like oxygen, chlorine, nitrogen dioxide. The advantage of using nitrogen dioxide for the conversion of HCN to cyanogen is that we get nitric oxide in the product, which can be easily converted into nitrogen peroxide again. The cyanogen molecule is a linear and flammable. It burns in oxygen to produce an extremely hot flame, about 4775 degree centigrade temperature. It means that cyanogen molecule is linear and highly flammable. When we burn it in oxygen, we get a flame having a temperature of 4775 degrees centigrade, which is extremely very high. Next, covalent nitrides are sulfur nitrides. Sulfur forms a variety of covalent binary nitrides, but the two most interesting ones are tetrasulfur tetranitride or S4N4 and disulfur dinitride or S2N2, because they are precursor to an unusual polymer called polythiazyle SN(X). Sulfur form two types of nitrides. One is S4N4 or tetrasulfur tetranitride. Second is S2N2 disulfur dinitride. Both are used for the preparation of polymer of polythiazyle. It means that these two nitrides, S2N2 and S4N4, are precursors used for the polymerization. The best preparation of S4N4 involves bubbling ammonia into a heated about 50 degrees centigrade solution of sulfur monochloride dissolved in CCl4 or benzene. We can prepare S4N4 when we pass ammonia gas through a heated solution of sulfur monochloride S2Cl2, that is called sulfur monochloride. It is dissolved in CCl4 or benzene, and when ammonia is passed through it at 50 degrees centigrade, we get tetrasulfur tetranitride plus elemental sulfur S8, that is the rhombic sulfur, plus ammonium chloride. Tetrasulfur tetranitride S4N4 forms thermochromic crystals, that the crystals which change color with temperature. Thermochromic crystals are basically those crystals which change their color with the change in temperature. So S4N4 is a thermochromic crystal. It has red color above 100 degrees centigrade. It has orange color at room temperature, that is 25 degrees centigrade, and if we cool it minus 190 degrees centigrade, it becomes colorless. The crystals of S4N4 are stable in air but will explode in response to shock or friction. When they are hidden by a shock or friction, they explode. The compound S4N4 has a cage structure with a plane of 4 nitrogen atoms with 2 sulfur atoms above and below the plane. When S4N4 vapor is pumped through silver wool at 250 to 300 degrees centigrade and low pressure less than 1 millimeter of mercury, an unstable dimer S2N2 can be condensed. Basically, this is the method for the preparation of S2N2. It can be prepared when we pass the S4N4 vapors through a silver wool at 250 to 300 degree temperature under very low pressure, about 1 millimeter of mercury, we get S2N2, which is highly unstable. It is condensed. This compound has an essentially scarce structure with alternating sulfur and nitrogen atoms. This molecule S2N2 has scarce structure in which alternate sulfur nitrogen atoms are present. Like S4N4, it is sensitive to shock and can explode when heated to temperature higher than 30 degrees centigrade. It is also a very sensitive compound like S4N4. When it is heated above 30 degrees centigrade, it also explodes. At 25 degrees centigrade, S2N2 slowly polymerizes through a ring opening mechanism to polythiazide. When we heat it just at 25 degrees centigrade, it goes to polymerization process forming polythiazide. This material has a bronze color, a metallic luster, and electrical thermal conductivity of a metal. It means the polymer polythiazide has a bronze color, it has metallic luster, it shows good electrical and thermal conductivity just like metals, and when it is heated to 0.260 Kelvin, it becomes superconductor. It means that it shows no resistance in the conductivity of electric current at 0.26 Kelvin. It means that it can be made as a superconductor at a very low temperature, that is 0.26 Kelvin. This is the structure of tetrasulfur tetranitride, mean S4N4. We see the sulfur atoms are represented by yellow balls and nitrogen atoms by green balls. The distance between sulfur atoms is about 258 picometers, while the distance between sulfur and nitrogen atom is 162 picometer. The bond angles between nitrogen is about 105 degrees centigrade, while sulfur is 113 degrees centigrade, and similarly the angle between sulfur and nitrogen is about 90 degrees. So this is the structure of tetrasulfur tetranitride. Now we will study the interstitial nitrides or transition metal nitrides. It is the largest group of nitrides formed by the transition metals. They are similar to interstitial carbides, where the nitrogen atoms occupy the holes or interstices in the closed packed lattice of metal atoms. It means that as we studied in the case of carbides, we observed that in the metallic crystal, the metal atoms are closely packed either through hexagonal packing or cubic packing. There are small spaces produced between these atoms. They are called interstices. The nitrogen atoms are trapped in these interstices. As a result, we get interstitial transition metal nitrides. Since the size and number of interstices is not fixed, therefore their general formula cannot be fixed. We have thus a variety of general formulas for interstitial metal nitride like Mn, M2n and M4n, where M stands for transition metal and N for nitrogen. For group 3 metals, scandium nitride and yttrium nitride both are known. If we study the group 3 of transition metals, which includes scandium, yttrium, they form nitrides. Group 4, 5 and 6 transition metals containing titanium, vanadium and chromium groups all form nitrides. The transition metals of these groups 4, 5 and 6, such as titanium group, vanadium group and chromium group, all elements of these groups form interstitial hydrides. These interstitial hydrides are refractory, mean they are very high temperature, stable, have high melting point and they are chemically stable. These compounds have high melting points and are extremely hard. They are usually opaque materials that have metallic luster and high conductivities. It means that they are not transparent, but they have opaque appearance or dull appearance, but they have metallic luster and like metals they show high conductivity. They are typically prepared by heating the metal in ammonia at roughly 1200 degrees centigrade. Mostly they are prepared by heating the transition metal with ammonia around 1200 degrees centigrade. The interstitial nitrides are chemically inert and few reactions involving them are known. The most characteristic reaction is hydrolysis, which is usually very slow and may require acid, as does the vanadium in the reaction shown below, to produce ammonia and nitrogen gas. These interstitial hydrides are usually chemically inert, but they give hydrolysis reactions with water. However, there are some metal nitrides which require acids for their hydrolysis, like vanadium nitride. It reacts with dilute sulfuric acid to produce vanadium sulfate, nitrogen gas and hydrogen gas. Nitrides of group 7 and 8 transition metals decompose readily. For example, iron nitride decomposes at 200 degrees centigrade. We see that the nitrides of group 7 and 8 transition metals they decompose readily. For example, iron nitride Fe2N, when it is heated to 200 degrees centigrade, it is decomposed into iron and nitrogen gas. Nitrides of heavier members from group 11 and 12 are less stable than copper nitride and zinc nitride. It means that the nitrides of heavier members from group 11 and 12, they are less stable than copper nitride and zinc nitride. Dry silver nitride is a contact explosive which may detonate from the slightest touch, even a falling water droplet. If we see the silver nitride, it is a highly sensitive compound. Even upon touching it, it catches fire and explodes. So sensitive that even a drop of water, when falls in it, it ignites and explodes. Now we study the uses or applications of nitride. As we see in the beginning of the lecture, that nitrides have a very large number of applications in daily life. Number 1, silicon nitride and titanium nitride are used as hard coating and cutting materials. Both these nitride are used for hard coating of metals and for cutting metals. Number 2, hexagonal boron nitride is used as a high temperature lubricant akin to molybdenum sulfide. Hexagonal boron nitride, as we studied in its properties, it has a slippery touch. It can be used as a lubricant in very complicated machinery. Its properties are similar to molybdenum disulfide, known as the moly. Molybdenum disulfide is also used as a lubricant in the machinery. Number 3, nitride compounds are used as insulators. Number 4, interstitial nitrides are useful in several high temperature applications, including their use as crucibles and high temperature reaction vessels. As we studied in case of interstitial hydrides, they are stable up to a very high temperature. Therefore, they can be used for the manufacture of crucibles and high temperature vessels. Hexagonal boron nitride is the most widely used polymorph. It is a good lubricant at both low and high temperature. It is a very good lubricant at very low temperature and at very high temperature, even at 90 degree, 900 degree centigrade, it does not decompose. It works as a good lubricant at this temperature. Currently, hexagonal boron nitride is used by nearly all the leading producers of cosmetic products for foundations, makeup, eyeshadows, blushes, kohl pencils, lipsticks and other skin care products. It means that hexagonal boron nitride is widely used in the manufacture of cosmetic products. Number 7. Hexagonal boron nitride has been used since mid-2000 as a bullet and bore lubricant in precision target rifle applications as an alternative to molybdenum disulfide coating, commonly known as moly. It increases the barrel life. It means that hexagonal boron nitride is used as a lubricant in the rifles. Previously, molybdenum disulfide was used as a coating, but now it has been observed that hexagonal boron nitride is more useful, it increases the barrel life. Number 8. Cubic boron nitride is widely used as abrasive. Since we know that cubic boron nitride is very hard, therefore it is used as abrasive to smooth or polish the surface of the metals and other hard substances. Number 9. A cubic boron nitride consists of light atoms and is very robust chemically and mechanically. It is one of the popular material for X-ray membranes. It means that it is used for X-ray membranes production. Titanium nitride and silicon nitride are used as cutting material and hard coating. Both titanium nitride and silicon nitride, they are used for hard coatings and for making the tools, cutting tools. Lithium nitride can absorb hydrogen, therefore it is used for hydrogen storage. Number 12. Silicon nitride is in automobile industry as a material for engine parts. Those include diesel engine, glow plugs for faster startup and lower noise. Number 13. Silicon nitride ceramics have good shock resistance compared to other ceramics. Therefore, it is used in the manufacture of ball bearings. Different ball bearings are made from the silicon nitride because it has a good shock resistance as compared to other ceramics. 14. In 2010, silicon nitride was used as the main material in the thrusters of JAXA. JAXA is a Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency space probe Akatsuki. It is the name of spacecraft like Apollo sent by NASA. NASA is American Space Agency, while JAXA is Japanese Aerospace Agency. And the spacecraft used by NASA are Apollo, while used by JAXA are Akatsuki. Number 15. Silicon nitride has many orthopedic applications. The material is also an alternative to PEEK. PEEK is abbreviation of polyether ketone, and titanium, which are used for spinal fusion devices. The people who face the spinal problem, they are given a fluid consists of polyether ketone and titanium. Silicon nitride is often used as an insulator and chemical barrier in manufacturing of integrated circuits or IC circuits. It means that silicon nitride is used as insulator and chemical barrier in the manufacture of IC or integrated circuit. Number 17. Silicon nitride is also used as an ignition source for domestic gas appliances. We see that we use the gas appliances like gas burners, gas oven in the domestic purpose. Now their ignition source is made of silicon nitride. It means that when we push the button of a gas appliance, we see that it ignites immediately. We do not need to use the matchbox. So silicon nitride is used as a pyrophoric material. These materials are called pyrophoric, which are used for ignition. These are the applications, and we observe that nitrides have a large number of applications in daily life. If you have any question, you are welcome. Thanks.